Soy Podcast. Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Throw me a topic. Let's speak on this. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't meme on this. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Let's speak on it. Speak on it. You thought we were done? Throw me a topic. Let's speak on it. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't mean on this. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Throw me a topic. Let's speak on it. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't mean on this. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Yo, welcome back to Speak On It podcast. We out here with my dog Mark. What's good with you, bro? How you
What's
doing,
up, man? I'm excited, bro.
You-
Like, happy to be back, man.
Bro, bro, this whole week, man, they don't know how crazy our week has been.
We've
as
been
far as
talking a lot
working,
about it. Yeah,
we've been working hard.
Yeah.
We got a little surprise for you guys, as you guys heard. And our intro, for our intro, we got our boy Gibbs, who did a track with us this
He
week.
killed it.
Bro, and we're going to talk some more about it because he's going to be our first guest next episode. We're going to have Gibson with you guys. Y'all get to see him. But this man worked hard, bro. This track took us literally 3 days to come up with an idea and to make it possible, bro. So it was dope. It was dope. So if you like the intro, man, let us know how you feel about it. But it was definitely a process, bro.
Yes, it was.
I didn't know Mark was a producer, but that boy is a dope producer, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Like, Ori, this man is so talented, man. I feel I'm not gonna get tired of saying that.
Nah, man.
Ori he did like, I would say 70% of the work, man. And I just came in and did a little something. But
this guy don't like to take credit.
Gibson, bro, you guys,
You don't like to take credit
Bro,
for
that
nothing,
was-
bro. Gibson, though. Man, I
Gibson.
can't wait for y'all. I ain't gonna talk too much about my dog because he's not here right now, but he'll be here on the next episode. So look
he'll
out
be
for
here.
him, and we'll dive into it. We'll talk about how we got the song to happen, how the intro happened, all the details. But yo, if you notice, my dog got the flag bandana. I got the flag bandana too.
Yes,
so
I
we
do.
are repping Haiti right now. As you know, this episode right now, you're listening to it on the 17th, Monday the 17th, but tomorrow's the 18th, bro. So we had to do something about it, man. We had to do something about it. So we gonna definitely dive into some history stuff, about Haiti, real quick. So I think, what's your perception of how many people, actual Haitians, actually know some history about the flag, bro?
Bro, honestly, I feel like a lot of people don't know about the flag. We just happen to know that, we're repping.
We rapping. We know
Right,
what
we-
it is now.
we know what it is now.
Like, how many people you think know that we went through like a bunch of flags before we got to this
Honestly,
flag?
man, I personally kind of forgot. I learned it earlier in school in Haiti, you feel me? But I forgot about 90% of the things I learned. And
Right. Because first of all, sorry to cut you off here, but what we learned, because we were both born in Haiti, like for those of you guys who don't know, we were born in Haiti. What we learned, we had to when we come here, we had to kind of like relearn some stuff. Not saying what we learned wasn't good, but it was like a different school system, bro.
Yeah.
Like how you did math was different. Like what we was reading
So
about was
different.
different. History was different because we wasn't reading about American history like that. We were reading about our history,
Yeah.
So you're right, like that. Some of the stuff we did learn, you kind of like forget because you learn at a young age, and then plus you come in America having to learn a whole new. We gonna dive into that later in the episode because
First day of school was a mess.
we gonna
bro.
talk about that later, bro. Don't even
Oh.
talk about that right now, bro. We gonna talk about our Haitian experiences
Alright.
later in the
Let's do it, let's do
episode. But before we get into that, I did want to talk about our flag transitions. All right, so if you see me reading my notes right now, it's because I got them written down for your boy. So I'm making sure we give some facts.
Let's do it.
That's what we're doing in the episode. So our first flag that we did. The reason behind the flag was because Jean-Jacques Dessalines took the French flag, which, as you know, is blue, white, and red, and took out the white part in the middle, and he created a flag that was just blue and red. And what they wrote on the flag was "Liberté ou la mort, which means freedom or death.
Liberty or
Give
death,
me
yeah.
liberty or give me death. You know, because we wanted to be free, man. And he's definitely a big Jean-Jacques Dessalines. You got Toussaint Louverture. You got Capo à la Mort. You got a bunch of revolutionary, just like people got the, you have in America, you got the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Like if you had to have a Mount Rushmore for Haiti,
they would be on there.
Them boys would definitely be on there.
Yeah,
so
sure.
he was, Jean-Jacques Dessalines was the first like prime leader that people was going to or referred to when you're talking about the early revolution of Haiti. So that flag was the first one on 1803 to 1804. So as you notice that I said 1803, but people talk about independence, which I want to talk about. I'm gonna ask you this, Bart, because I know you're a scholar, bro.
Go ahead, shoot, man.
Is May 18th our Independence Day, or what is May 18th?
Let me think. Nah, it's not.
It's not, right?
See, a lot of folks think it is.
It is, but it's not.
This year showing out every time. I feel like we've seen a lot of, guys,
May 18th,
flags and all over the car and everything, but it's not. It's not on Independence Day. It's January the 1st.
January 1st, 1804. But as I said, the first flag was 1803 to 1804. So before we even got our freedom, we was already like starting a revolution, because you don't start the revolution on the day of when you catch your freedom. You got to work to it. So 1803, he already started the flag process to 1804. And then after that, there was a black and red flag from 1804 to 1806, which was the Empire of Haiti flag. And after that, we had the State of Haiti flag from 1806 to 1811, which was a blue and red flag. And then we had another black and red flag for the Kingdom of Haiti from 1811 to 1820. And then this rendition of the flag that you see us wearing right now didn't come till 1849 until 1859. And then actually before that, something similar. And then they just finally got us to this flag right now, which was 1859 to 1864. That's when we got this flag. And then we had Papa Doc, which was one of the I feel like he was a good leader, bro. Some people might look at a dictator like they're a bad leader.
To some extent.
There's some good and bad, because I feel like he gave us discipline. He gave us structure.
We need it.
He gave us structure. I know some people might hate Papa Duck or Baby Duck, the whole Duck family, which was Duvalier. That's his name.
We do not condone no dictatorship.
No, we don't. We don't support that. We don't condone it. But at the same time, he did give some structure, but he changed the flag. That's how much of a dictator he was. He actually changed the flag back to a black and red flag with the palm tree still in the middle, as we see in the blue and red flag right now. And then we went back to, what we're wearing right now on our head, what you most likely will see with Haitian flags everywhere in the cars or whoever's repping Haiti, wherever you see it. Yeah. So that's a brief, quick little history.
That's a lot, man. That's
I try to knock it out. We ain't trying to, make it a history show today, but we wanted to pay some, respect to the flags that we had before and how it got started. We wanted to get that out of the way. So now that we got that out of the way, bro, I've heard some stuff like growing up in America as a Haitian that I didn't like, mainly because I was hearing like, obviously, Haiti's like the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Like the images that I saw about Haiti was like really bad. Yeah. Like, I mean, there's places that obviously are like that in Haiti, but it's not the entire country. So you ever seen those commercials like where they're trying to say feed people, whatever, and they'll show like to make people feel bad about the people so they can give money. I feel like that's what we were being depicted as. If you had an image when I was growing up in America for Haiti, it was like, like those feeding, they need help, they need food. We actually do need help in some places, but that's not what the country is to me. So I want to ask you a question, like to you, like what would you say if you had to talk about Haiti to somebody who don't know about Haiti or who may have grew up and thought Haiti was this way that I described just now? What would you say to them? Like, as far as for you, what was your experience like in Haiti when you grew up there, and also when you visited Haiti? How do you feel about how the country is overall?
Man, overall, I love this country, man. It's such a beautiful island. Unfortunately, you have those people that don't know much about the culture, and the first thing they do is talk bad about it because they've never experienced the full culture itself. But Haiti, man, just like every other country, if you don't have good leadership, you're gonna experience a lot of hardship and a lot of chaotic stuff going on and stuff. So Haiti, man, and if you guys did not know, was one of the most visited island in the past. Feel me? We had a lot of people coming through, but over time, after whatever, our leadership wasn't up to par after a while, so things started going bad. But that doesn't take away from who we are as a nation. We have a lot to offer. I feel like just even the way we brought up, teach us to respect one another. That's big. You feel me?
Respect is huge, man.
Respect is huge, and they teach us to be successful, to work hard, and that is one of the reasons why that a lot of the Americans did not like us when we came to America, because we were outsmarting than them, we were working harder than them, and they felt like, yo, they trying to take over. Because you can notice every time we go somewhere, we try our best to stand out somehow. Even though we don't have a lot of help, we try our best to stand out. That's the culture that we have. We like to fight hard for what we have, and like this in the like we don't care about nobody, man. We all about business.
We speak our minds.
We speak our mind. We don't take no nonsense from anybody. That's one thing about us. I guess it's from our ancestors. Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Toussaint. Those guys, man. Shout out to them, man. We wouldn't be here without them. We thank them for all the sacrifice they made. Man, I mean, the culture itself, man, I love it overall, man. I love everything about it. Obviously, I would want things to be a little bit different. But it's out of our hand. But us as a young generation, we can start by at least educate those who don't know much about our culture.
Facts.
Took away that stigma that we are a poorest country in the
the Western Hemisphere stuff,
and everything. Like, that's not true. We have a lot of resources. Now we don't know how to use them, and we don't know how to
or what I'll say is we allow other people to use it the way they want to use it, and we don't benefit from it at all.
Exactly.
There's a lot of that going on. I'm not trying to get crazy political in this episode. Right. We trying to make it a fun, light episode, but we do want to educate people.
Yeah, right? This part right here, it's kind of like, it's not as, obviously it's not. It's
a serious.
It's not a comedy thing.
Yeah, it's a serious.
But it's serious because I feel like lack of education can be is a very bad thing.
It's a bad thing. We need to bring awareness to some stuff.
Because obviously, like, coming to America, back then, I mean, I didn't have to experience it, but I spoke to a lot of guys or girls that I went through a lot back then when they came to America, because they were looking at us like, bro, you're some bums and stuff. But that's because you feel me, like obviously it was kind of funny too, like, how we dressed up when we go to school. You feel me? Gotta have your shirts tucked in, everything.
We definitely stood out.
Just like going to church, we stood out. So they were making fun of us. But just like we said, Haitians, we're not gonna take things for too long. Eventually, we're gonna stand up.
But my man, I do want to, like, I don't want you to forget your thought, bro. I do want to touch on that point right here about like. Cause I remember obviously when I first got here, I was mad young. I got here, I was 11. I'm going to 5th grade, and I'm most likely I was probably one of those guys like we had because I'm here, right, in America. I don't know nothing about the place, and my parents, they know some, but not so much to kind of like they didn't really buy into the culture, like American culture. They kept which I like. They kept our culture, everything still. So me going to an American elementary school was like me going to a Haitian school, like, and my dress code and how I'm gonna carry myself. It was different, like, from my peers and stuff like that. So I probably was not as bad as what you're saying, but I know I was at first. Like,
you got a little taste of it.
You could probably tell, like, oh, you probably from Haiti. Obviously, I didn't know a lick of English. Which we'll get into a little bit later. Some stories about me going through some stuff, not knowing English. But then I did notice something though. Like, when I was in high school, I noticed that people that were coming from Haiti, like the young people like that's going to high school with me, but I knew they just came from Haiti because you just know, like, you might not know any English or whatever. You could tell because I've been through it, so I know what it looks like. And then it was a different thing because when we were coming in, you were talking about put your pants up, like, tuck your shirt in, wearing your belt. But when they came through, they was like sagging and like they bought into the other culture real quick. I was like, in Haiti, we had uniforms, bro. When you go to school, you wear a uniform. Everybody's wearing a uniform. Like, if your uniform was not ironed properly, if it was wrinkled, if you had rips in it, you going home. They're sending you home. off your uniform in Haiti.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing for us. So just knowing what my culture is in Haiti, I'm not saying for you to come in wear uniforms in high school because we didn't have to. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, like why they were taking like some things in the culture that were frowned upon, I would say. Like, you know, like they was like, first you got to come to school to learn. Don't try to be a gangster, like, but you don't even know a lick of English yet, but you taking on the things of the culture that are not really like what you should be taking on at first, because we're already behind the ball because we don't know anything about the American culture. We're trying to get our education on, but then you're taking on the other things that won't benefit you. So it was like a weird vibe because when I was in elementary school, most of us was like that. Like we dressed up, whatever.
Yeah.
When I got to high school, and I was dressed normal, but I knew people that came from Haiti, and they was like dressing like they were like gangsters or whatever. Like they knew other. I'm like, bro, can you come to school to learn? We at school. But that's just my take on it. I don't know how high school was for you. If you had any people that just came straight from Haiti, if they were, how did they take the culture? Because I felt like they embraced a part of the culture that they didn't have to necessarily.
I was lucky enough to have. I had a neighbor of mine who's he was born here, but Haitian. I got close to him as soon as I, came to America. So certain things I would look at, I'm like, he's doing things a little bit different. All right. So for me, I was kind of smart, and like I'll observe. I'm like, all right, I gotta make sure I do this or don't do this. So for me, I didn't really have to go through that experience.
Okay.
But there's one thing. There's something I heard, man, from this guy.
Go ahead, bro.
Like there was this saying they used to call us Haitian HBO. I don't know if you know what that means.
Bro, you gotta teach me.
It's like
now.
Haitian body odor. I was like, dude, that's so messed up. They used to make fun. It was like, yo,
Haitian
HBO
body odor.
Haitian body, like, bro.
Yo,
like,
that's new for me right now, bro.
Like, yo, there used to be a lot of fight.
Whoa. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you talk about body odor. It wasn't a good thing.
Yeah, like,
So
bro, like, yo,
we should
stink.
think
Like, yo,
Haitians?
stink. Yo, smell like fish. Like, yo, work at the fish market or something like that, man. It's like, it was, that was,
man. That's
but
crazy.
that's the thing we had to go through, man.
Right?
Shout out to Wyclef, man, who actually, he helped a lot of Haitian feel like, bro, we belong, man. We don't have to hide who we are. We can just represent our culture without having to worry about people making fun of us. So,
you repped us.
Shout out to
Wyclef
really
well,
for that.
Man. You repped us really well, bro.
That's good,
really well.
Man. And,
so yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I was just gonna say, man, as a Haitian, man, if you know how to fight, if you did not know how to fight, just know, like, you cannot prevent. You're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get bullied every day. So going to school.
Let's talk about it right now. I plan on talking about it, but
yeah, good, man, good.
No, go ahead.
I mean, going to school was just like, bro, listen, I know I'm gonna get into a fight because I hear so many stories, man. It's
especially on May 18th. You gonna fight on May 18th, bro. Like from middle school until high school.
Like
that's what 7 years?
Yeah.
From middle school until high school, every May 18th. Maybe like my senior and junior year was less because the school population was kind of different for high school. It was a lot of people who were Haitians that was going to the school.
They put some respect on our name after a while.
Like they just kind of respected us or was cool with us because we played ball together. We were on the football team, and you had friends who were Haitians. It was like, bro, you stood for Haitians on the 18th. Like, yo, let them rep their flags or whatever. Because you got to understand they're the first black, nation that's free, that abolished slavery. So they started to really understand the importance of that, I know we didn't touch on this earlier. I just kind of, piggyback a little bit. We did kind of help America as a people. When they were fighting in their wars, like some of our soldiers came down here to help, to help. We ain't going to speak too much on it, but I just wanted y'all to know that
we were a powerhouse back then.
If you understand the culture and why we're so proud of it, is because there's a lot of great things that comes from that small nation. Like it might be small on the map, but in our heart, it's huge, bro. It's all that we're about.
That's big right there. Yeah,
man.
Right.
So it was like high school for me, man. Like on the 18th, bro, be ready to fight, bro.
Yeah.
Be ready to fight. Yeah. I could remember like there were some Haitians that didn't even like rep Haiti because they didn't want to, not that they're not repping Haiti, they didn't want to bring the flag that day, because they didn't want to get bullied or picked on. And it wasn't like, as Haitians, we were looking to stir up trouble. Like we just wanted to come to school because if it's fall on a school day, or that week of we just wanted to rep our flag a little bit, you know, show our how proud we are of our country, and we had to fight. Like it was crazy because we were fighting other black people, bro. Like
Man.
we wasn't even fighting like, I'm not saying white folks or Hispanics, but I'm black just like you're black, even though I'm Haitian or you're American or you're Jamaican or whatever, but we're still all black. Like, so why are you hating on me for repping my country who abolished slavery? As we know, the history of blacks in America, like you can't, you know, you got to speak about it. You can't, it's the elephant in the room. Like if years of slavery that, you know, we had to fight against. So if I'm repping a Haitian if I'm repping the flag, I'm speaking against like slavery. If I rep the flag as a Haitian, I'm literally speaking against slavery because that's what that flag means to me. You know, like it means I'm free from that. Mm-hmm. So let me be able to do it, especially if the American culture, especially the blacks, we've been through that too. The blacks have been through that slavery. They know what that means.
They know.
So you should be able to be like, hey, I can respect that because we had to fight for it too. You guys gave us a way to know that we could get it done because we did it before. We were the first. So
I feel like it was a misunderstanding thinking that, you know, obviously they had to go through slavery and had to fight to get the independence. Whatever.
Yeah.
So they felt like we were gonna come and took their place.
But it probably did feel that way. But
that's
honestly,
one of the reasons why
what we want to do is work together. Threatened. I feel you on that, but we were probably coming more so on like let's work together type of like you said, we come here as Haitians to work hard. We ain't really come here to like stir up the pot. We just try to get successful as other people are and support our family. Understand, like when a Haitian works, they're working for their home in America, and they're also working for people in Haiti, bro. Like that's something that you gotta understand, bro. Like they're working here and they're sending money back to Haiti, like it's a bill, bro. You got
building a house in Haiti,
yeah,
paying all the bills, taking care of like 5 kids, making what $50,000,
bro,
a year. Building a whole mansion, like how? And
when I look back,
they never have money.
That's why. When I look back at my parents and some of the stuff they were able to accomplish, which I'm proud of, like being business owners and stuff like that in Haiti, and like you said, building some homes in Haiti, I'm like, how? Like, how did you even do all that? Like, you supporting us here. When you were a kid growing up, you don't know these stuff are going on until you're older, and they telling you, oh, we have a home in Haiti, or if you lived in that home in Haiti, you knew you had a home, or you start to understand life more. Because one thing about Haitians as parents, they don't really tell you anything. Like there's some stuff they don't tell you, like until you get to a certain age.
You're not gonna know.
Then you be like, you find it out, you be like, oh shoot. Like they don't really like need to know basis, bro. Like you don't really get set down. Like let's have a family meeting. Show
affection to one another, man. Like yo,
maybe
live
some
in the
homes
house.
did. Maybe some homes
maybe
did.
some.
I did
some.
notice a home where the dad was like, they're having like Bible study together at night. They're having family meetings. They eat together, talk. Like growing up, we didn't really eat dinner together. Like the food was done. You ate when you wanted to eat. On Sundays, we all ate together after church. That was the only day. Other than that, maybe your house was different, bro. Because I was out. I'm not your house. Yeah. But with my house, we kind of eat whenever we wanted, and then whatever. So there's no family dinner. Like when you're watching a TV show, you be like seeing families sitting down and having dinner together, and they're talking about stuff like the kids like cannot be excused or whatever. I didn't go through that. I didn't grow up that way.
That's a whole new thing, right? Nah, we didn't have to go through any of that, man. Like, listen. Matter of fact, if you grow up in a house with a lot of siblings, you better come and get your plate early, or you're not gonna eat. You might get a little bit of food. So there's like first come first serve kind of. There's no like, oh, let's all gather around the table and just eat. No,
only Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, we did eat together. It's a lot of food though. But other than that, bro, like other than Sundays, we didn't really eat because I don't know, for some reason after church, we all ate together. We may not have sat at the table.
I feel like it's part of our culture.
Yeah, Sundays is like it's a big meal. Let's eat together. Let's whatever. Especially if you're a Christian, which we are. So man, we already talking about how we grew up. We talked about a little bit the high school stuff. How we had to kind of fight for some stuff, like which we feel like we may not have needed to, but we had to anyways.
Speaking of that, as before I forget, like the whole thing about fighting and stuff, I believe I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, don't beat me up or whatever. I believe that's how Zopan started because we got tired of getting beat up. Mm-hmm. We got tired of being beat up. And so we said, you know what? We're going to come in strong and just like, yo, be savage and just
yeah.
That's how I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how it all started. So
I mean,
now you see everybody want to be called Zo.
Nah. Yeah, right. Yeah. And I did hear about that, especially I think my junior, like I mentioned, my junior and senior year was less of like Haitian getting beat up on May 18th because the influence of that was big. Yeah. Like a lot of people were involved in it or knew of it. It was like, oh, don't mess with Zoe because, you know, I'm not saying I support, you know, gangs or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, out of certain adversities, so other things come out. Things are born. Like I feel like because blacks were, you know, being like taken advantage of or bullied, whatever you want to call it, then you have like certain groups that, you know, rose up, even though they weren't necessarily about violence all the time, but they were depicted as violence, you know, like even in American culture, like, you know, certain Black Panther, like people associate them with like, oh, they were gangsters, but they were trying to stand up for their community. Yeah. Just like you could say, you know, with Zoe Pound, whatever, I'm sure they did other things, but it did, like I said, my junior and senior year, we didn't have to really worry about if we came, you know, May 18th, like we were going to get jumped or whatever. Yeah, we didn't have to worry about it.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know about your school. Even in middle school, I didn't have to worry about any of that. There was quite a few Haitian at my school too. You was in a Haitian American, and like just
not me, bro.
Haitians born in Haiti. Your school, like that's the funniest thing. Your school used to come to my school and try to have a fight. Obviously, I went to Creek High School, Coconut Creek High School. You went to BA, Boyd Innocent. We had some rivalry fight, man. But that's a whole new topic, man. But yeah, my school. No, I didn't experience any of that. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Like I said, my junior and senior year, it was die down.
Was that bad? It was bad for you.
The corner store. Bro, there's a corner store.
Yeah, you guys were in the ghetto, man. Yo, you guys are in the ghetto. That's why. Yeah, you're in the hood, bro.
But quick story that doesn't really pertain to like maybe on the 18th of May. But one day I remember working home because I didn't live far from the school. It's like a big residential area right in front of the school. You have apartments, then you have homes, like houses, like up down the street, like 5 minutes from the school. So I'm walking home because I'm not far from the school, and that day people just decided to jump people, like. If that they didn't know. Damn. Just to explain to you what the 18th may have looked like, you know, if somebody didn't mess with a Haitian. Or maybe people, you know, was like, we're just going to fight today just because. So I was just walking home and this dude just walked up to me or behind me or whatever and was like, bro, you good? I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, and then another guy was like, yo, he's straight. Don't worry about him. And it was a classmate of mine. Was like, yo, he's straight. Don't worry about him.
Was he Haitian? They got to ask you if she good?
Nah, he was American. So and the guy that was like, he's straight. Don't worry about it. Was American too. But me and him was cool. We had a class together. But he was in a group that was beating up people that day. You know, so because he knew me, because you know we were in class together, he was like, don't worry about this dude. He's straight. Let him be or whatever. And like it was like people they didn't know was getting jumped off rip. They didn't have to have beef with you.
You're lucky to be alive, my boy.
I'm lucky I made it out, bro, to be able to do this podcast today, man. I'm thankful, you know, to be here. But bro, just growing up was crazy. Now let's transition into some stuff that we had to deal with as kids growing up in a Haitian home, man.
A lot.
All right, so. Me and I mean I think this is a part of like a lot of Haitian homes. So I'll touch on this first, like as far as like curfews or if you were to go out, what's the expected time to come back, or were you allowed to even go out with your friends? All right, here's a question for you: were you allowed to have a hangout or a sleepover at your friend's house, or could your friend, not your family now? Could your friend come and sleep over your house?
I can't even stop smiling at that question because it's funny. Allowed. First of all, you said allowed and sleep over. Those two words don't even. First of all, man, like listen, growing up in a Haitian household, there's no such thing as, well, obviously, you know, you could not listen if you want, but there's consequences. There's consequences. You feel me? That baton, you feel me? Like, you don't, nah, man. Listen, my dad. But anyway, my dad, bro, like, I couldn't even Like at the time, I was like probably 13. My sister, I couldn't even go to a house like that, man. Like,
Your sister's
yo, not even my sister. I couldn't even like if I go. My dad was like the type of guy. Listen, I'm going to bed at night, 9 o'clock. If you're not here by 8 o'clock, you're in trouble. Like, bro, I was like 12, 13, and obviously I was scared. I was kind of like intimidated by him because this guy. Not
tough.
only he like when he speak, this man's voice is so freaking
Powerful.
loud and powerful. So it's like that's intimidating for me as a young kid. So I was just like
12,
man,
13
like,
years old. Like,
12, 13 years old. Like there's no such thing. Like I don't know about you guys or you or anyone else,
I'll tell
but
you about me. Sure.
like you don't have no. Haitians don't believe
No
in sleep.
freedom.
They believe in that if they give you freedom to go sleep over, you're gonna
Freedom
become
to
a
do whatever.
vagabond. You're
Yeah.
gonna do
Be on the street selling dope, slinging dope.
That's what they see. That's what they in their mind. That's what they thinking. Man, next thing you know, you're gonna be selling dope. You're gonna be doing this, sleeping.
Yeah.
Nah, they don't believe in that.
Vagabond.
So,
vagabond.
si vagabond. Meto mba. Pagin diga mo na kaya. Diga mo bakit no kaya some. So it's like no, like two grown like folks
grown
cannot be in the
people
same house.
But it don't make no sense.
Listen, man.
I be
Like
seeing houses full of grown folks living together though. But I knew what they meant. Like,
I'm paying bill. I pay my bill. You like. Listen, bro. Like.
go ahead, bro. Go back. I had to kind of
I
like
remember
interject.
this is how it started for me. This is how it kind of started for me. So, I remember getting a night job working overnight.
that boy was working
perfect.
overnight.
So I'm like, that's perfect.
You
feel
could be
me?
out there.
I could pretend like I go to work one day, just kind of like do my thing. So I was like, all right. I was working from 11 to 7. You know, out of Walgreens all the time. So I'm like, this is perfect. That way, they're going to be like, at that point, they're going to get used to me being out late.
And go to sleep. Not
And I was like
you.
18, I think 18 or 19 at that time.
Okay.
And then that's kind of like how it started
for you.
And even then when I used to go out, but when I come back home, it was like ninja style. I open the door like, bro, like ninja style, like, you don't hear nothing, like, and my room was upstairs and the stairs making that noise.
I got a
so I'll be like,
did you? How good were your ninja skills? What was your success rate?
I don't think my dad ever knew. I don't think
100?
nobody knew. I think I was 100.
You were 100% successful.
And the thing is, he used to go to work early in the morning, so I would be like, I was 3.
So you gotta get
I
before
gotta
you
get there before. And I remember there was one time.
Oh man.
There was one time I got there late, so he was getting ready to leave to go to work. So I was in the car. I had to like lean my chair all the way back.
Oh, so he
wouldn't see me. I almost got caught. So yeah, I'm still 100%. That would have been like the first time, but I got away this time. Yeah.
Oh man, this man had to be resourceful, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, because there's no such thing as you're free now, man.
You can do whatever
you
you
hear
want.
Americans be like, bro, I'm 18. You can't talk to me like that, Dad. I'm old. Don't talk to me that way.
That's why I mentioned earlier, like, you be 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. You're in the Haitian household. Don't be like, I heard on Speak On It podcast, I have to take it. I'm going to take it, Mom. Like, nah, bro. You're going to take this.
You're going to take that collar. That's what's going to happen. That's Zocalo.
That's Zocalo. Right after you open your mouth and say that. But man, for me, so on the same question too, like, did I ever get it or did you have to take it? I think everybody had to take it as a Haitian, but I don't care who you are. You can tell, if you tell me that your parents told you, oh, at 18, it's okay, Johnny, or we don't call it Tijan. There's no Johnny's. That's John, but we say Johnny for a point of reference, but Pierre, Jean, Jacques, all that good stuff. It's okay for you to do whatever. That was never none of that. But what you had your buffer as, like, you had to work overnight. That kind of helped you, be a buffer point. Yeah. My buffer point was my oldest brother. Shout out to my brother. I'm sure he's gonna listen to this episode, but I'm gonna have to use you right here, homie, because he was the trailblazer. He was the Jean-Jacques Dessalines of the house.
Oh, he started it.
Because that man was not listening, bro. I had to put his little business out there.
Now I know. Okay.
I had to put my boy business out there, but he's 5 years older than me. So when this man's kind of like, I need my freedom type vibe, I was still legit. You feel me? So imagine if he's 18, I'm 13?
Yeah.
So I'm not worrying about, like, I need to go out at 13, I'm just worrying about my little video games, and whatever. Yeah. So when he's like in college, like 19, 20, 21, like, he's starting to like, bro, I'm gonna go out with my friends, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, I'm gonna come home, home when I come home. So my parents would like let them have it. So I'm watching all this in the background, you know.
You're taking notes. That's what I gotta. Okay, all right. I'm studying the game.
I'm studying the game. So I'm watching this, and bro, understand this about like my people. I say my parents, like maybe other people's parents are like that too. When they're schooling an older sibling, you're gonna get schooled too, because they're gonna act like you're doing it. They be like, don't even think about it.
Yeah. They put that fear in you early.
They're like, you see all that stuff he's doing, whatever. Don't even think about doing none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So my brother went through it, man. This man pushed the limit. And then when I was like 19, 20, I'm in college or whatever, working. I was kind of like stay out a bit late, like 1, 2. It would be borderline. You get a lot of phone calls. My mom be mad. Like she'll be like, "You trying to be like your brother?" Like, or my dad would be like, "You trying to be like your brother? You're not trying to listen now.
Yeah.
You used to listen. You're not listening no more." And but mind you, it's not like we're not trying to listen to our parents. It's just like you trying to hang out with your friends, and I'm not doing anything bad. We weren't doing anything crazy, bro. Like we were literally like, if we're hanging out maybe at another friend's house, or go out to eat, or just chilling in the parking lot after you're eating.
Yep.
Just having conversations on the weekend. It's not like every night too, like a Friday night or a Saturday night or something like that. So, my mom was not having it. I think there was one time, I think she waited up. She was calling my phone. I was maybe I didn't pick up. I didn't pick up. She waited up, bro. It was a scary night, bro.
Oh my God,
She waited up, so I finally got home. We had cars at the time, bro. Can you imagine, bro? Like we actually have cars, whatever. Like I'm thinking about our countercultures, like a white or American culture. Like you 18, 19, you have a car. They're like, they let you kind of be a little free.
Sky's the limit,
or whatever,
free,
Yeah. Just don't get in trouble, whatever. But we had cars. Like you said, you was sitting back in your chair trying to make sure your dad don't see you. So we were driving at the time. So driving home, got in there, tried to ninja style it. Yeah. As soon as I opened the door, she was already like sitting near the door, like a chair by the door. It was a scary night because she was like,
gotta be scary, yeah.
She was like, I opened the door. She's like, what time is it? She's like, what time is it? I was like, oh my gosh, bro. She's like, I'm gonna deal with you in the morning. I was like, dang.
Did you sleep that night? Were you able to sleep that night?
Of course not.
I'm gonna deal with you in the morning.
She's like, I'm gonna deal with you.
Take care of me now, man, so I can sleep.
Get it out the way so I can sleep, bro. Yeah, man. But my mom, I say this, man. She was more so of she was disciplinary.
Wait, did she take care of you in the morning though?
She did in her own way. Like it wasn't like she beat me or whatever. I thought it was. I thought it was. I've had a lot. I got stories like that. Yeah. I got stories like that. But that's what I was saying. My mom's like, she's like a big disciplined person, but sometimes she would rather like talk too, like really put some sense into you, and really make you feel bad too. Like, what are you really, like, what are you doing? Like, type of stuff. So we had like a little heart-to-heart conversation. But I still wanted to hang out, though, with my friends. So that was kind of like me trying to, do my thing. And like you said, it never really goes away. One thing about Haitian cultures or Haitian parents, like, it's like when you get married, it's like when you kind of like, okay, now you do whatever you want. But as long as you like not married, they feel like if you don't take your freedom, they will never give it to you. But as soon as you're married, some of them will like, okay, you could be like 25 and married. They'll be like, all right, you grown now, you do your stuff, take care of your stuff. They still gonna call you and talk to you, but you could be 40 years old if you're not married, or they be like, even if you have your own place, they might call you and be like, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you safe? Are you whatever? It comes from a caring place, but at the same time, they overdo it because you need to give people their freedom to live their life and learn from that.
I feel like there's a code that every Haitian parents live by. You have to understand that code, because they'll tell you not to do something, right? Even though they tell you not to go out, but it's like they want you to take that initiative. They're not gonna tell you to do it.
They will never come.
They're gonna pretend like
go out now.
They not. So you have to understand that code. Just like they'll tell you like, nah, you're not allowed to date. They're not gonna be okay with it. But like you're 27, so kilo my year. When are you gonna get married? You said don't date. You said stay in school, dating. Focus in school. Like it's kind of like that code. You feel me? Like they'll tell you no to something, but really they hoping that you'll
You'll
figure it out. Like start taking
and
initiative yourself.
Doing some stuff. So you're right. You're right.
Looking back, man.
Back.
It's something you gotta understand. So man, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So what is the craziest thing? Because we're just talking about just growing up Haitians that you felt like you did, and what that you got caught, and what happened. Like what. Well, it don't have to be anything super, crazy, but I'll share one story when I was much younger. For some reason, my parents wouldn't let me go in the pool if they're not there. We was in an apartment. The pool was literally right in front of our building, like right there, So for some reason, they wouldn't let me go in the pool, man. So my friends used to always go in the pool, So I was timing it when they're working. If I come home from school or if it's the weekend and they go to work, I would time it. Like I go to the pool, do what I gotta do, make sure I'm inside, act like everything's good. And I told you I got plenty of stories where I did get a whooping. I think my mom was like, the older you get,
I was the only one. Yes,
the older you get, the less she would try to whoop you or whatever. She's trying to talk to you because you're older now. It's like, all right, man, I'm gonna be able to talk to you because. I wasn't really like a super bad kid growing up, so
you're a good kid.
I wasn't pushing the limit all the time, but I still did bad, stuff like on the slide. So one day, I don't know if I like mistimed it or anything, or if she came home early or whatever. All I knew was because, like I said, the pool is right in front of my door. So she got home. She probably looked, see me in the pool. Bruh, this is dope, bro. I got whooped when I got back in the house while I was wet. Wow. Bro, it was on and popping, bro. Like she was like, what if you drown? What if you die? There's no adult here. I'm like, all my friends are in there too.
How old were you at that time?
I had to be 12, 13 years old around that time. Yep, I had to be like around that age.
Yeah, she's super protective of you, obviously, because you're her only son. You feel me? Her only child.
As far as my mom,
As far as your mom, So in a way, I feel like she had to be overprotective in a way. I guess.
Right? Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah. I could see why though. I could see why she did some of the stuff she did. But at the same time, it's like kids are gonna be kids.
Gonna be kids.
But how come I'm not allowed to go to the pool if all the other kids are at the pool? It's not like I'm the only person in the pool.
You know what I'm saying? That was just that's that overprotective thing.
I was taking my little steps of freedom. Yeah, you did. And I would play like in the playground with the kid, like when they're not home is when I did most of my stuff. Like and then I just make sure I got home.
Yeah, okay.
Back in time.
Well, mom gonna hear this thing and come to your house and give you that whooping.
It's too late. There's no back whooping. It's too late.
It's too
Can't
late
go back time. Be like, hey, you gonna get whooped for this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that past a Haitian though. It'd be like, now that I found out about this now, you gonna get this work. But yeah, what's the craziest thing that, it may not have been crazy, but what's one thing that stick to your mind? I got another story too I'm gonna share that can stick to your mind. I got an even better story than that though. I'm gonna share after you share yours.
Okay, so for me,
that can stick to your mind about what you did that you got caught for, and you got.
Did I get caught? Nah, I think
this guy was a ninja for real.
I was kind of
okay.
Right, so
why did you get whooped then? Because you talk about all this whoopings.
Did I get whooping?
Did you even get whoopings, bro?
I got whooping when I was younger, because I wouldn't listen and
okay.
But
what was your last whooping, bro?
Oh my god, bro.
When was your last baton?
Man, I didn't grow up with my dad. So my dad left Haiti, obviously to trying to help us out, live a better life. Yeah, and then came to America. I was with a few of my folks before we moved out. Mm-hmm. So I remember, man, like I used to think my dad is the coolest person in the world. You feel me? My dad is my best friend. Shout out to Junior, man. So then I was just like, all right, cool. We're getting along pretty well. Mm-hmm. So one day, one of my little cousin made up some nonsense. Said I hit her. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, yo. And my dad, when my dad gives you a butt whooping, he goes all in.
He doesn't hold back.
Like, if you're wearing the jeans, like, man, you're not going to feel much if I hit you. Take that jean off. I want you to feel that skin to skin. I want you to feel that thing. I feel like I got I think it lasted about 2-3 minutes. Like, man,
Going at it.
man, ever since then, I knew I had to be smart about my move. You know, like, all right, man, this guy don't play. If I'm gonna do anything, I gotta make sure I gotta study the plan, make sure I can get away with it. That's why I never get caught. You feel me?
Learn to be a ninja.
I learn, like, that's the last time I get whooped by this guy. He don't play. So,
you
you
didn't want to keep getting.
So in a way, that whooping was like started something. It started something. You know, opened my mind to something like
Ninja Mark.
Yeah, ninja. But like, you know, things like, you know, you'll be at school and so I would make sure like, hey, all right, so you know how sometimes they say bring you stuff, well, make your parents sign this or make your parents do this. My dad sometimes, you know, he work hard. He doesn't really take time to read stuff. So I'm like, bro, listen. So I started practicing this guy's signature. I'm like, all right, I think I got it now. A few times I got in trouble, suspension, detention, all of that.
So you just
my report card when I did bad in school, I'm signing everything. I'm signing everything, bro. Bro, if I didn't master that, you know how many butt whooping I saved just by mastering that? I saved myself, man. Listen. I had to, man, though. So I'm sure a lot of people out there did that.
Hey, you're not the only one that did. I didn't do it. I mean, like, honestly, I wasn't like super bad. I wasn't that bad.
I wasn't super bad. Like I had, thank God, I had a few friends. I mean, if I had like stayed, you know, being friends with some of those people,
you would have ended up different.
No, dude, it would have been bad. But yeah, man, that's some of the things that I did. Obviously, it's so funny. I'm looking back now. You know, I'm thinking, yo, when I had kids, are they gonna be like this? You feel me? Like you feel like things like that. But I wouldn't be mad because I'm like, for me, I feel like that's smart. I think that's smart. Evil genius. You feel like, as long as you don't get in big trouble, then it's whatever.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, man, that's some of my stories, man.
Well, my other story that's probably better than, you know, the pool story as far as like discipline, like Haitian style discipline, was my first fight in school in Haiti, though. Like, it happened in Haiti. And it was just my luck, bro. Like, my mom was like in America, I was in Haiti. Like, she was here before I got here. So she used to come in Haiti all the time. Like, I couldn't count how many times in a year, but at least once a year she'll come down for like 2 weeks. You know, you got a kid in Haiti, you got to come see your kid. And she had a business too, so you got to come down. So I wasn't the person that started the fight in school. I was just waiting for the car that's supposed to pick me up or whatever. And we were outside of school just chilling. And this dude was like messing with people, whatever. And it's the thing about Haitian culture. Like, somebody will try you and be like, I'm going to trace this line. If you step on it or if you cross it, then I'm going to beat you up or something.
Don't cross the line.
Don't like daring me, like, you know, I'm going to trace this line if you know, trying to punk me or whatever. So I stepped on the line, excuse me. I stepped on the line, man. I was like, man, what? Yeah. So he pushed me. All right. So in Haiti, we might fight different than we fight down here. But man, I was watching a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, you feel me? So we thought we were like we thought we was like fighters. So I would practice some crazy stuff just on my own. I wasn't taking no trainings or whatever. Yeah. So I kicked this dude, bro. I did a spin kick. Kicked him dead in the mouth, you know, and his lip popped. He was bleeding everywhere. And you know, the school principal was still there, and there was some teachers still there. So they was like, hey, what happened? Because he went inside, he started crying and junk. He went inside.
I could imagine you doing a spin kick, like
I didn't leave the ground now.
Oh, you didn't?
It's the type of kick where one leg's on the ground, but you spin around and your other leg is up.
My boy got skills, man.
Popped it in the mouth, man. And then he went inside crying and junk. And then, you know, the principal was like, oh shoot, like when they come pick you up, you gonna need to see, you know, your people that picked you up. So my auntie came to pick me up, and they told her what happened. It was like, oh, he was fighting, blah blah blah, because they didn't see everything that happened before the fight. They just seen the kid go inside bleeding, and I'm not bleeding. So they was like, he must have did something to the kid. So they told my auntie about it, and my auntie was like, oh, you dead. I'm like, what happened? Because she was really like chill with me, like she was, you know, She was really chill, man. She raised me while she was my mom's little sister. While my mom was in America, she was taking care of me or whatever. So she was like, "Oh, you in trouble." She would never like. I told her I didn't start it. You know, the guy was messing with me. She was like, "Well, just know your mom is here."
Wow.
So she was like, "Your mom is here." I was like, "Oh shoot, what do you mean my mom is here?" So she came from America that day.
Wow. Oh,
so
bad luck,
bro.
man.
So man, I was like, "Oh, are you serious, bro?"
Oh man.
So that was one time where she gave me that work.
I could imagine.
She gave me that work. Another time was I was playing soccer, and I didn't know she was there too. Cause you know you don't know when your mom's
surprising
coming.
you, man.
Popping up, bro. Popping up. I was playing soccer. I wasn't supposed to be playing soccer. And I came home. I had an injury. Like I got scraped on my leg. And she was like, "First of all, who told you could go play soccer? Like, who gave you permission?" I was like, "I just went." They was looking for you. Because the thing about it is, I go play. I'm like out for hours, bro. Like, you don't keep track of time. So I don't even know she's home. She's like, "You didn't come home to even do your schoolwork. You didn't da-da-da. Now you coming home talking about you got hurt from soccer." She beat me in the spot where I was hurt, bro. Like she beat the heck out of my leg. Till this day, it didn't properly heal. Like, you know, it's still, I got like a patch on my leg that's like a different texture than my skin.
Wow. Bro.
So, you know.
It's that tough love, man.
Yeah,
tough
but
love.
I learned too, man. And back in Haiti, bro, we used to play soccer on the top of the roof because Haitian households are different than down here. Like, it's like a flat top. Like sometimes they'll be in the process of building a second story, but they won't be done yet. They'll put the bricks up, like the structure of the room. So if you kick the ball, it's not gonna go far because the bricks are gonna stop it. So we used to play on top of the roof, and my grandma used to always come. Grandma was the one that was crazy, bro. My mom learned everything. She learned from my grandma.
Grandma? That's surprising.
Grandma was crazy, bro.
It's usually the opposite.
Nah, bro. You know, Haitian, American grandmas, you go to grandma's house, you get a cookie, milk and cookie.
My grandma was nice. I got away with everything. My grandma would be like, "Go buy this for me at the store."
And she give you a little change?
No. She tell you to go buy it, but she eat a little bit of it and give you the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, cool my grandma was like...
my grandma was cool, though. Like, but she didn't play.
She didn't play.
We playing soccer on top of the roof, bro. You know how loud that is? When people who are downstairs. That is loud. All she hears. And she used to tell us, don't play on top of the roof. It's loud. You know, we could go play outside, but we didn't want to go play outside. So we would just play. I don't know why we always did, bro. And out of nowhere, she'll creep up the stairs. Very like Mark style, ninja style.
She'll creep up
up the stairs. Whatever she had in her hand, shoes, a piece of wood, whatever she had, she'll lunch that junk, bro. It didn't care who got hit.
Accurate too, right?
Somebody getting hit.
Somebody getting hit. Somebody get hit.
And then as soon as we somebody get hit, we all just ran like go around, different places and try to go back downstairs. Yeah. Man, I think one time she almost fell, bro, like down the stairs because we tried to run past her to run down. I think we did injure grandma one time, bro.
You injured grandma
because she was trying to chase us, bro. We didn't mean to injure her, but
injured grandma, bro.
Yeah, well, you already know we all got whooped that day when our aunties and everybody got home. They beat the heck out of us that day. Bro.
Grandma had it coming.
Oh, my cousins.
Grandma had it coming.
I didn't say we planned this.
I planned this.
This wasn't a plan.
Like, grandma had it coming. Who pushed grandma? Was it you? You pushed?
No, she was trying to run after us. And then she probably missed a step or something. Man. Next thing we know, grandma's on the ground. Oh, she started. And then we went back to her. We was like, "You okay?"
Yo,
but we all knew we was gonna get whooped that day.
Yeah. It's so funny when you know it's gonna happen and you trying to prepare yourself for it mentally.
It's dreadful, bro.
And it's like, bro, that's the reason why I used to make sure I kind of like fall in line, just not cross the line.
Or not get caught, Mr.
Or
Ninja.
not get caught.
Ninja Mark.
Or not get caught.
You got a new name, bro.
That is so true.
You make sure you didn't get caught.
Speaking of fight, bro, like I remember the first fight I got into it, man. First one, very first one. And I remember it till this day because it was bad. It was bad. I don't remember what happened. Me and this kid, you know, in the playground, you know, in Haiti, you know, like here in the playground, the kids have everything at their disposal. They have every toys in the world, whatever. In Haiti, you know, when you're in the playground and whatever, sometimes you have all you have is a can of soda sometimes. You just kicking that thing around and everybody's trying to get it from you. You feel me? Whatever. Yeah. So I think
that's your toy.
We were playing, right? And then this kid, I don't know what happened. He might have said something or did something.
Oh, shoot.
And then next thing I know, we started fighting, right? Here's where it got crazy. He fell on the ground.
Oh, don't fall.
It's
bro.
over. You know how when you fall on the ground, you start kicking. Yeah. I did the opposite. I grabbed his leg, bro. Both legs. I started dragging kid around. Bro, I think I dragged him around for like a good minute until everybody like pushed me. Like, yo, let go. Bro, like, yeah, man. So that's kind of like, that was the craziest fight I got into, actually. So.
This man clearly had some anger problems. Clearly.
Nah, yeah, that was it after that.
You didn't fight after that?
No.
I didn't really fight after that, too.
Because you know why? Nobody tried me after they seen me do something like that. They like, bro, let's stay away from this kid.
They knew you was. They knew, man. Definitely is a dope reminiscing on this, Haitian Flag Day the 17th. We're dropping this episode. But, I think we're going to call it a wrap, right here. Obviously, we'll share some more stories on other episodes about our life experiences, but we just wanted to make sure we share some Haitian type stories today, where we had to deal with some stuff growing up, talked about the flag at the top. But man, look out for our next episode coming up. Like I said, we're going to have Gibson on this episode. This man is dope, man. He's going to be here, share his stories too. Yep. And he might share, he's Haitian too, so he might share some stories growing up to himself.
I'm sure he has a lot.
So we like to talk to our guests about how they grew up, their passion, what they're about. Look at this dude is, man, talented, bro. Creative,
super talented,
skilled. You heard the intro, man. You get to meet the person finally on our next episode, man. I think that's a wrap for us, bro. Anything else you want to,
one
talk
last
to people
thing,
about?
Man. Our food is the best. I don't know.
He said he was going to say that.
I said it. We got the best food in the whole wide world.
That's all I can say.
Listen, you can't beat that. Anyway, that's that.
But that's a wrap, man. If you're not following us on our IG page, go ahead and follow us. We'll be on YouTube as well as far as the video. But we'll be on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, all that good stuff you can hear our episode from, man. We love it, man. We love doing this. We passionate about Speak on It podcast, man. Great episode, bro. Awesome job, homie. Man. Great job, bro. Great job, all right, man. And we out, y'all.
We out.
Deuces.
Next time.
Peace.
Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Let's speak on it. Speak on this. Throw me a topic. Let's speak on this. Say that again. Let's lean on it. That is my opinion. I'm being honest. That is the fact. Don't meme on this. Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. Let's speak on it. Speak on it. You thought we were done? Throw me a topic. Let's speak on it. Say that again. Let's